Hi everyone, my name is Ashley Lal, and today we're going to talk about how bitchiness isn't your quirk, you're actually insufferable. I don't know if it's just me, but I suffer from this condition called chronic bitch syndrome, okay? I am chronically bitchy.
I'm gonna have a BF. Oh my god, she's gonna have a bitch fit. Oh.
And it's honestly gotten to the point where I'm like, this is not okay. This is not a cute little personality trait. This is not like, oh, I guess he just can't handle me. I'm not like that. I'm not like that. I have got to take some sort of accountability. How else am I going to grow?
This shit is going to end right now.
So I've realized that maybe it's actually come to a point where I have to address this. When I went online, when I went on the interwebs to go and search some things up, I saw a lot of other people having the same issues that I was having. And it was that they were chronically bitchy. In my short 23 years on planet Earth, I think I figured out some ways to help us get a better understanding of why we might be that way and what to do to actually stop that. Because it's not cute. It's not cute. If you keep going down that path, you're going to lose your friends, you're going to lose your family, you're going to lose your man. Like, no one's going to want to be around someone that's like that. That's why super bitchy people that never get checked, notice that they're all alone and they only have cats. And while that's not a bad thing, we're social creatures. If we can't come together and even make some friends, then you're doing something wrong and we gotta go and fix some things. In this video, I'm gonna give you 5 steps on how to not be bitchy. And maybe after this, you could just be a little bit slightly less annoying to the people around you. Okay, let's get into it. So number 1 is to understand your triggers, okay? Everyone has triggers, right? What puts us in that space to have an attitude? And honestly, it stems from the fact that a lot of us just don't have control over the situation. Like when things are not going our way, I can't deal with this anymore. No. It has to be like this. It has to be like that. And you know that people are not that anal towards you. So people will allow you to make mistakes. But as soon as someone else makes a mistake, then it's an issue. And understanding your triggers, you can't reject who you are, right? You have to be very sure of yourself. What makes you do that? So for me specifically, what puts me in that mood, one of the first things is waking up early. If I'm up in the morning, I immediately get set into that attitude. So it's like, how do I avoid that? Like now that we have the problem written down, how do we solve that? Well, that's easy. One of the reasons why I don't like waking up in the morning is because I don't get enough sleep. And I'm sure that if I actually took the time out of my day to wake up a little bit earlier and give myself some time to adjust to the fact that I'm up so early, I might even like mornings. So that's what I did one day. I got up like 2 hours before I was supposed to go into work. I go into work at 8 in the morning and I sat there and I played some Diablo. Life felt amazing. So part of the issue is me. Like I'm causing my own suffering. Another thing that really triggers a bitchy attitude that people actually might not realize is being compared to others, always feeling like I'm coming second. That'll immediately send me into that bitchy attitude. And nobody will know why. You know what I mean? It's like when someone brings up something and you just start hating. It's sort of like that. And now I'm already in that spirit. Like, okay, and nobody likes a Debbie Downer or a vibe killer. Like, are you seriously hating that bad? Nobody's gonna want to talk to you. If you're like, oh my gosh, guess what? Kai Cenat just hit like 600K on Twitch, and your first response is, so? Dude, all right. Like, you can't live with that energy of hating all the time. It's all right to come in second place because not everyone who comes in first place all the time stays in first place. You're gonna have your time, they're gonna have their time. It's okay. You don't have to be the center of attention. This also stems from the control issues. Why do you need to feel so important to the fact that it's actually affecting your mood? Mental illness. Lexapro.
You need a therapist.
Another major trigger that I have, which leads into my second point, is when I have no coffee, right, at all throughout the day. Automatically bitchy. Which leads me to step number 2, manage your addictions. We live in 2024. 38 states have weed legal. 38. That's a lot of people smoking weed. And there's a lot of things wrong with smoking weed. Listen. I'm no weed police because I partake, guys. But you cannot have these drugs essentially control your serotonin and dopamine function. Because guess what? The second that you're not doing it, that you're off of it, you're gonna be irritated. You have to get off that stuff. If you know that you have a bitchy personality trait, it's in your best interest that you don't actually partake in those things. Because if you do partake in those things, it's just gonna set you up for failure. The moment that those things aren't in front of you, like you're a baby and that's your pacifier, you're gonna start nagging. And people don't wanna hear that. That's the adult version of hearing babies cry. Like, hearing woman bitch. No one wants to hear that wham wham wham. Like, bruh, like shut up. Oh, because you didn't get your coffee, you're tweaking out, you're crashing out. What? So it's like maybe I should work on not drinking so much coffee all the time to the point where it's affecting my mood. Like, that's a little bit ridiculous that I'm giving so much power to a drink. Step number 3, accept that things won't always happen right now. That's another thing that I feel like sends people into a bitchy attitude is when things are not happening right away. Oh, I need it right now. Oh, I need it right now. I need this right now. Daddy, I need the money in the car right now. Listen, it's okay. It's okay. You're gonna have to fork over some control to God. You cannot have it all, but you especially cannot control time. You have to work hard for the things that you enjoy doing in order to actually see some sort of fruits of your labor. So it's gonna happen over time. You can't just do a bunch of hard work and then be like, all right, well, I'm waiting. Because then you're going to let your attitude affect your rewards. Like, you're not going to feel good about yourself when it's time to accept the fruits of your labor. Because you're going to be like, well, I'm working on this and I'm working on that and I want this now and I want that now. If you're never happy with living in the moment and you're so ahead of yourself, yeah, you're always going to be bitchy because you're never going to be satisfied. These things are hard to accept. Like, it's a tough pill to swallow. Trust me. As someone who has lost friends, who has lost their own relationships, who has lost relationships with their family members over being too bitchy, I know a thing or two. Like, I'm not just yapping out of my butt. I have been there. That's why I'm on the internet right now. So step 4 is to learn to stop yourself and to find another activity to relieve your stress. If you feel like you're starting to get triggered, right, and you're in a situation, because obviously if something is a part of you, you're not just going to stop immediately, but it's about managing your emotion, not letting it get the best of you. So if you can find a way to channel that into some other activity, then maybe you would not be as bitchy and you could come out being way stronger, way better in something, and really understand yourself and grow. What? This is how you nurture yourself, by learning how to manage your stress in a healthy way, not through caffeine, not through weed, not through alcohol, not through sex, but through something like hiking, yoga, going for a walk, talking on the internet. Listen, there are a lot of things that you can do that aren't as toxic to your body as intaking some sort of a pill or something that manages your emotions for you or something like that. A lot of it has to do with us being able to control our mind. So the moment that you can sit there and actually fight the urge, right, for you to tweak out is when you're starting to win. Everyone has what they need to stop themselves. Not everyone has it where they could just snap into that headspace and say, let me go for a walk. But don't think that you're above that either. If you are on meds, take your meds. If you think you should be on meds, let's go get a psych evaluation. Don't just be like, all right, I tried. Oh, I can't. Like, there are things that you can do. You don't have to just accept the negative aspects about you. You can accept that maybe it might not totally go away, right? But at least try to minimize it. At least try to work on yourself, because then it'll strengthen the other aspects about you that are already strong. And so number 5, the last step is to take on any role that challenges your pride and your ego. This is a really good thing to do, okay? Take on some roles that literally fork over all sorts of control that you have. When I was in high school, I decided to enlist in ROTC. And when I did that, I didn't understand why I was doing it. I knew that I had authority issues, right? Which would lead to me being a bitchy person. I don't like to be controlled. So I went to take on this task of joining JROTC because I was like, I want to see if I could actually stick to listening to someone. And yes, I was that kid in JROTC. And what's crazy is I wasn't able to do it. I left. I sure did. 2 years in, I was like, I actually can't do this anymore. The thing is that I tried. And moving forward, I'm going to continue to put myself in positions where I don't have total control over the situation, because you'll actually find that it's way more stress-free if you actually take some of the control off of your hands. You don't need to take on everything on your own. You can ask for help and then completely allow them to do it and walk away from it and accept whatever they give you. And it can just be just like that. You don't have to put any extra stuff onto someone else or any sort of expectation onto someone else, because they're not putting expectations onto you. Why are you making life harder for you? Other people are chilling. They're like, yeah, I assigned Paul this activity. He'll get to me on Tuesday, whenever. And you're like, I told him that he had to get back to me on Saturday because it's really not that serious. And that's the biggest thing. We just take everything way too seriously. It's not that serious. There are so many things that we could be focusing on that are that serious. You know what I mean? Someone dies, that's serious, right? Your man cheated on you, that's serious. But you're crashing out because Duncan got your coffee order wrong? Like, girl, relax. Now, I'm only saying this from the female perspective, right? And because I'm just sharing a little bit of my experience as a woman who can be quite bitchy. But of course, you know, men can be bitchy too. I have to add that disclaimer. Yes, everyone, all genders, all species, all mammals, anyone has the ability to be bitchy. But, you know, we sit here and we have all these polarizing conversations. Men this, women that. As a woman, that's all I hear. Men this, men this. And I get it. You know, we're sharing a shared experience. Because of the fact that we're trying to mingle with men as women, right? We have our own issues that occur from us trying to come together. But we can't just sit here and act like we're perfect and completely victimize ourselves all the time. Women can be just as toxic, just as insufferable, just as manipulative as men. They can be. They are. Yes, we live in a patriarchy. Yes, men can be worse. So can women. We just live in a society now where it's like, yes, men are still here and women are here in terms of like the social ramifications of things. But overall, both genders still have the capability of reaching a position of power and taking advantage of each other. So at that point, you still have to sit there and reflect and learn how to grow from your mistakes rather than sit there and blame someone else all the time. Maybe you're the problem. Like, just start to think about that for a second. If you always find yourself in repetitive situations, right? You're seeing a pattern in your life, then you are the problem. If you see that something is happening over and over and over and over again, and it's the same situation playing out, dude, it's you. Stop placing blame on people. You know it's you. You know it is. Remember, being bitchy isn't cute. It's actually a character flaw. You're gonna lose your man, your friends, and even special opportunities. Like, people are gonna know you at work as a bitch. Like, yeah, she's nice some days, but she's a complete, absolute bitch. Listen, being bitchy is cute sometimes, but you have to reserve it for the right reasons. Put your foot down when people got you messed up. That's when you're bitchy. But if you're just tweaking out and crashing out over nothing, it's like, bitch, get the fuck on. Understand that you are who you are, but don't just accept those issues. Try to actually work on those flaws. Some people take control of the situation. Most people actually don't do anything. And that's why they end up in positions where they're alone. I don't know it all. I have my own issues, but I just thought that we could sit here and relate because honestly, you know, there are some issues that go on between humans and you're not alone. There's a lot of people on Reddit. There's a lot of people online that talk about how not to be bitchy. Like, it's hard. It's hard. There's a lot of things going on in our bodies, right? Hormonal issues, mental issues, just the overall stress of life. You're not alone in feeling like you're always bitchy and you have no control over the fact that you're bitchy. It's a part of your personality trait. It's genetic. Or it's based off of the situation that you're coming up from, the situation that you're currently living in. Like, it's hard to maintain a positive attitude when so many things are going on. But just try to take a second and be like, is it that serious though? Is it that serious that I'm gonna sabotage all the good in my life so then I can keep being bitchy? Nah, it's not. Anyway, guys, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and to check me out on twitch.tv/AshleyLOL, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye!